The next few knots we're going to be tying is the family of figure 8 knots. I'm going to start with just a simple figure 8. That's the base that you're going to be going off of for the rest of the knots. So just a simple figure 8. You're going to come around, start here, come around, come back around the back side, and through. Okay, that's your simple figure 8. Figure 8 on a bight. Okay, all you're doing is making a bight in your rope, and you're going to end up tying a figure 8 into the bight itself. A good tip to make sure you have enough safety. A lot of guys like to tie the safety first and then tie the figure 8. A lot of times you have to adjust and readjust so that safety is butted up against the bottom of your figure 8 on a bight. What I like to do, what I always say is about an arm's length, maybe just a little more, and then drop what you've got. Drop the tail into the knot there, the tail into the rope. That's going to be your bight right there, okay? So when you're tying your figure 8, try to keep everything nice and straight. You're going to come around, make a bend. You're going to come around the back side or front side, whichever way you like to go, and back through. Same way you tied your figure 8, your simple figure 8. Now, once you get it tied, make sure you dress it. You don't want any crosses in your knot. You want to make sure everything's nice and pretty. Okay. And there's your figure 8 on a bight. Now, what we're going to do with the tail, of course, is tie our safety. All right. We've got two different safeties to tie. We've got the barrel knot or the double overhand and the single overhand. Either are acceptable. Either one's fine to use. They both work the same as long as there's a safety behind all of our knots that require safeties. Okay. So the barrel knot, what I like to do is hold the knot in whatever hand I'm not tying the knot with, of course, or the safety knot with. Run my finger down the standing end of the rope. Start at my fingertip and work back towards my knuckle twice. So you got a double barrel, so you think you wrap twice. Remove your finger. So your finger's there, remove your finger. Where your finger was, replace it with the end of the rope. So my double barrel knot is stacked right up on top of my figure 8 on a bight. Now on your bights on your knots, make sure you can make the OK symbol. That's how big you want your bight to be. No bigger, no smaller. You go any smaller, you're going to start breaking some rules of the rope, the 4-to-1 rule, and you're going to you get them too big, and then you're going to start wasting rope and wasting line space. Okay? So the 4-to-1 rule basically is we've got 1/2 inch rope. We don't want to make the bight in our rope or the bends in our rope more than 2 inches. So that's our 4-to-1 rule. It gives you that 4-to-1 ratio. So if you can make the OK symbol, that's about the size of the bight you want on all your knots you're tying. Okay, so that's your double barrel, and then you got your overhand safety knot, which is essentially just a simple overhand backed up behind your figure 8 on a bight, or whatever knot requires a safety. Okay. Okay. Figure 8 follow through. This is going to be used in case we don't have an anchor strap, or we need to go around an object that we don't have an attachment point for. We run out of hardware. Like I said, that's going to be the main purposes of using this. You're not going to be using this a whole lot. It's just something to have in your tool bag, your tricks, so you have something to use in case you do run out of hardware or anchor straps. So, figure 8 follow through. Make sure you give yourself plenty of tail here. If you don't, you're not going to have enough to tie your safety. All right. So once you get your length determined, you're going to put just a simple figure 8 in your rope. Don't tighten it down, because what you're going to do is follow that and trace it back through. All right. So you're going to take the end of your rope over the top or underneath, whichever you prefer, and you're just going to trace that 8 all the way back through. Now, when you pull your bight back through, Make sure you pull it all the way up to the whatever you're anchoring off of or whatever you're tying your figure 8 follow through around. All right, so you're just tracing it exactly all the way back through. So you have a figure 8 around an object. That's your figure 8 follow through, and then come back and put your safety right up against the bottom of the knot, okay? That's your figure 8 follow through.